Hello everyone and welcome to the video. My name is Vijayaraj and today we are going to explore on the best important topics in modern computer science and data engineering. The difference between a data lake, data warehouse and data lake warehouse. I have never wondered how companies like Netflix, Amazon or Uber manage billions of records of data every single day. This video is for you. By the end, you will clearly understand which type does the what and what to use and which. Yeah. Okay. First, the agenda and the introduction. Here is what we all cover today. Think of this roadmap for next to 12 to 15 minutes of this video. We will start with a quick introduction about why data storage matters. Then we will look at each other on three architectures: data warehouse first, then data lake, then data lakehouse. After that, we will compare them side by side in a table. Look at real world company examples and wrap up with key takeaways. Sounds good. Let's start with basics. Why should we storage even matter? Introduction. Why data storage matters? Here is a mind-blowing fact. The world generates 2.5 billion bytes of data every single day. That's 2.5 million followed by 15 by 18 zeros. 95% of companies today rely on data to make their business decisions. Now imagine you are running a company like Amazon. Every second, thousands of people are searching for products like clicking ads, placing orders, and writing reviews. Where does all this data goes? How do you store it, organize it, and actually use it to make decisions? That's actually the problem the data warehouses, data lake, and data lakehouse are designed to solve. And each of them takes a very different approach. First one is data warehouse, the organized filling cabinet. Let's start with the oldest and most traditional solution, the data warehouse. A data warehouse is like a super organized filling cabinet. Before any data enters, it has to be cleaned, formatted, and structured, like making sure all the documents and the right size labeled correctly and filed the right folder. Look at the diagram as shown how it works. The data warehouse, structured data only. Think rows and columns in table. Schema on right. The defines structure before and store your data. Optimize OB tools, BI tools, and reports. High performance. Queries run very fast. Now next come to data lake, the giant storage pool. Now let's talk about the data lake, and this is where things get really interesting. Imagine instead of a filing cabinet or filling cabinet, you have a giant swimming pool. You know through everything into it, raw, process it, whatever format is coming. That's the data lake. It stores data in raw form without any structure required upfront. The key difference from a warehouse. Instead of a schema on write, it uses schema on read, meaning you only define the structure as shown in the data type store. It uses cheap cloud storage, Amazon S3 like or Azure data like storage. The major advantage is it's incredibly cheap. You can store petabytes of data for a fraction of the cost of a warehouse. But there is a big risk. Without proper organization, a data lake can become a data swamp where nobody can find anything and data quickly is terrible. Now we come to data lakehouse, the best of both worlds. So now we come to the newest and most exciting topic concept, data lakehouse. As you can see on this slide, the formula is simple. Data lake plus data warehouse is equal to data lakehouse. It combines the cheap flexible storage of data lakehouse with the data management, asset transactions and fast query performance of a data warehouse all on a single platform. What does ACID mean? It stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. It simply means your data is always in a valid state. no partial updates, no corruption. Think of it as a safety guarantee. Key features, some of the key features of data lakehouse. Asset transactions. It is data consistency guaranteed. In schema enforcement, they define structure when you need it. Fast BI queries, just like a warehouse, ML or AI ready. Data scientists can work on the same platform, open formats. Delta Lake, Apache Iceberg, Apache Hudi. The most famous Lakehouse platform is Databricks, which invented the concept. Companies like Netflix and Uber have adopted this model. We use these apps day-to-day life in our society. The key insight is you no longer need two separate systems, one for BI and one for AI. The Lakehouse does both. And the analogy. Let me give you a simple analogy that will make you stick in your memory forever. Imagine you are opening a restaurant. A data warehouse is like a fine dining restaurant. Everything is pre-prepared, peppered, perfectly plated, and served efficiently. The menu is fixed. You can only get what's on the menu. Super fast service, but no customization. A data warehouse is a giant warehouse of raw ingredients. You have fresh vegetables, whole kitchens, chickens, exotic spices, everything in its raw form. Incredibly cheap to store, but you need a skilled chef, a data scientist, to turn those ingredients into something useful. A data lakehouse is a small and smart kitchen with both you have the raw ingredients and some pre-prepared meals ready to serve. Organized shelves, smart labeling, both and chef and the waiter are happy. And we are in the slide of head-to-head comparison. Now let's pull three side by side in a comparison table. This is the most important slide. Screenshots this if you want. Data types. Warehouse handles structured only. Lakehouse handles everything. Lakehouse handles everything too. Schema. Warehouse uses schema on write. Lake uses schema on write. Lakehouse gives you flexibility for both. Cost. Warehouse is expensive. Lakehouse is cheap. And Lake is cheap. Lakehouse falls in a middle. Performance. Warehouse is very fast or queries. Lake is slow for analytics. Lakehouse is fast. Best for warehouse is the best for BI and reporting. Lake is best for ML and raw storage. Lakehouse is best for both. Asset support. Warehouse. Yes, Lake. Real examples. Snowflake and Redshift for warehouses. AWS 3 and Azure ADLS for lakes. Databricks and Delta Lake for lakehouses. This table summarizes everything perfectly. The Lakehouse wins on every dimension, but that does not mean warehouses and lake are dead. Context matters. Why should we use which? Use a data warehouse. When your data is structured, your team uses BI tools like W and Power BI daily, and compliance matters. Banks and retail chains love warehouses. Use a data lake when you are collecting massive amount of raw data. IoT sensors, server logs, images, and your main goal is feeding machine models. Storage cost is the biggest concern. Use of a data lakehouse. When you want one platform for both you do your scientist and your business analysts, it's the modern default for the new data engineering projects in 2024 and beyond. Real world examples. Here are some real world examples. For example, Netflix uses data lakehouse and Amazon uses massive data lake on S3. Airbnb uses data warehouse for their business intelligence. Uber integrates over 1 terabyte of data in a single day. They use a lakehouse to power search pricing, driver mission, it all same time. NASA uses data lake to store raw satellite imagery and telescope data. Different teams apply different schemas depending on the what they are researching. Walmart tracked 245 million customer transactions per week in a structured warehouse to power their supply chain and inventory management. Popular tools and technologies. Here are the according to the years and centuries how these three are architected, and next come to evolution of a data architecture. In 1990s, we had a basic relation databases. In 2000s, the data warehouse became the gold standard for enterprise analytics. Then in 2010s, uh, the explosion of big data, Hadoop, Spark, and cloud storage gave birth to data lake. Suddenly, you could store massive amount of data. By 2015, cloud managed data warehouse like Snowflake, and in 2020s, the data lake was emerged in a undefined future, combining the best of both worlds. Some of the key takeaways. Before we wrap up, here are five key takeaways. These are being things you must remember. Number one, data warehouse is equal to structured, fast, but expensive, best for BI and SQL reporting. Number two, data lake. Cheap, flexible, handles all data types, best for raw storage and AML. Number three, Data Lakehouse, the modern best of both worlds solution as it support open formats on one platform. Number four, always choose your architecture based on your data type, your use case, and your budget and your team skills. Number five, the industry is moving toward lakehouses, but warehouses and lakes are still widely used and will be for years to come. And the last one is conclusion. There is no single best solution. The right choice depends on your needs. Start small, scale smart, choose wisely. And they wrap together, let it bring all together. Thank you. And these are the references and signing off.